like sales campaign for top of funnel, sales objective for top of funnel, and then you use awareness objective for retargeting campaign for cheaper results and also to control the ad frequency. What do I think? I think it's a definitely a way to do that, but in my opinion, it may not makes a huge difference because essentially you have to understand when it comes to retargeting, no matter what objective that you are selecting, the CPM is naturally high because you'll be targeting a very very small audience size, whether it's coming from one country or multiple countries. Because people who have, say, for example, added your product to cart, like are really, really of small size. It really depends on how much that you are spending on the top of funnel. So as the size is smaller and very niche, the CPM is more or less the same. I've tried, like for this audience, let's say retargeting, I try comparing sales objective, which is to drive people to drive sales, and awareness objective, which is I actually went for awareness and reach, meaning I want to control the frequency. The CPM is more or less the same. Yeah, because it's niche already. It's difficult audience. So regardless which one you go. But when it comes to that, right, I would say no harm trying that. But I think it's definitely something that we have to experiment to see which one works. I would say, like I say, let's try it. But here's the thing. Because the audience were actually brought in by the top of funnel using sales objective, these are already people who are likely to purchase or have the likelihood to buy something from you. It really depends on what you do. So rather than spending a lot of time experimenting with different objective, I would rather say I'll focus a lot more on the messaging. I hope that makes sense because to be frank, it really depends on what you do. When it comes to retargeting, there are different way of convincing or even kind of like nurturing the audience to make them buy or turn them into an audience or customers. And when it comes to retargeting, there are multiple retargeting, as you probably know. You can do immediate retargeting, which is if you come to my website and you don't buy for the next 7 days, I can start showing you something. And some of my clients benefited from some kind of like periodical retargeting, meaning like, for example, a client of mine who is in aesthetic business, the client who actually purchased or even messaged them or even became a lead for service A, 2 months down the road, they might be interested in other services. So we do that kind of retargeting, meaning like if you come in today and become a lead, okay, then you will not be seeing any of one of my ad. But 2 months later, you will start seeing another series of ad that probably says, "Come back. I'm gonna give you a 20% discount for my other services. Like just come back and use this link or show us this message to get the discount." Those are the things that we can always try. So when it comes to retargeting, I would say I wouldn't spend a lot of time testing with different objective. Like I said, the CPM is going to be very low. But even if you talk about ad frequency capping, you can still do that even with sales objective. Like what can we do here is we can control the budget because to be frank, as the audience size is small, we spend minimum like 20%. The frequency is naturally higher. But even that, right, we can tolerate because we know that we want these audiences to be nurtured and convinced. But if you have really high frequency, that means the audience size is not that big. We can always reduce the budget to a certain extent. But if you go over and use awareness objective, it may not be able to spend fully. Now, like if you put a, like a cap, because there's too many restrictions in the campaign itself, which is not really beneficial for, like the optimization of the campaign itself if you are using awareness objective. I hope that makes sense. All right, like I said, when it comes to top of funnel and retargeting, there are different strategies applicable and all that. It's really important for us to understand what is coming in from the top of funnel, the audience size. We can always plan for that, right? Like let's say a client of mine who's doing a lot of combined advertising on Google and Meta. So the retargeting naturally need to spend a lot more because it's a different strategy. But we also see a very different segmentation possibilities here that we can group them into different persona, and we run different strategy on different audiences. So those are the things that I would like to discuss more with you if you need help, right? Just in case you want to build a different strategy to optimize your overall. Because I've seen a lot of clients who benefited from the retargeting because we naturally spend lesser on the retargeting. But if we do it right, we can create optimum result that will balance up and improve the overall performance on the top of funnel and retargeting combined. Actually lift your overall performance in a very meaningful way. So if you need help strategizing your campaign and all that, and kick in the retargeting, you can scan this QR code, and this allows you to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me. Basically, you can do anything in a Zoom call, just you and me. You can share a screen. So some clients ask me to come in and look at whatever campaign that they have and try to, like build an optimization plan. So what I'll do is I'll analyze your campaign metrics. I'll guide you through that, and I'm going to give you a plan on what are the things that you can consider doing. Step 1, 2, 3, to maybe, hopefully take your campaign to the next level. And of course, if you have a new campaign that you are yet to publish, you want me to come in and look at certain settings, or you have certain questions about Meta Ads Manager and all that, you can also use that. Some client asked me to just, like, Jason, I book an hour of your time. Can you come in and help me set up my campaign with all the material that I have? I mean, I'm happy to do that, of course. So yeah, anything about digital marketing and meta advertising specifically, if you want, or even some clients come in and ask me questions about YouTube marketing, email marketing. Those are the things that I can help. Scan this QR code, and I definitely look forward to work with you.